Hi guys, Peter here from Andertons TV. I'm here with Matt, our guitar department manager, and he has been to Nashville.
Yes.
And he has been picking up and hand picking some amazing Gibson guitars. And we're gonna have a look at 3 of them today. We've got them here. And Matt, tell us about what you have got for us.
Yes, well, so I was extremely fortunate to go out to Nashville and to the Custom Shop factory, which is a completely separate factory to the place where they make all the standards. So Gibson Custom, they only make 50 guitars a day, which was pretty amazing. And while we were there, they were basically like, we do a run of guitars called made to measure, which basically means you can spec out what you want. So instead of just having a 58 that you might see on the Andertons shop wall, you can change the specs around. You can have different things. So me and Lee, inspired by the guitar that he bought in 2013, the one that he's been playing in a load of the chapter videos, and that is
we know that one.
We were kind of like, we should do something similar, but we should change it around and take all the elements that I get asked for all the time.
From customers. So
from customers, and that's basically take all the best colours, all the colours that I think have inspired all the Les Paul players out there, all the colours that people sort of really associate with the Les Paul, and basically build a run of 10 guitars that we've called the Blues Masters.
Blues Masters.
Which are these ones
and we've
here.
got 3 of them here today.
Yeah.
So what's the one you've got there?
So this one
it looks a bit like the Beast, doesn't it?
Yes. So basically, it's a very, very similar colour. It's Dirty Lemon.
Dirty Lemon.
I know. Where do they come up with the names for these? And
great, I like it.
So we took the standard 58 spec because that's one of the most popular ones. People like the sort of the rounded neck. They like the sustain and the fatness that you get from these guitars.
Yeah, why not the 59 then? That is the magical year, isn't it?
I think the thing is actually, from experience, so many people try 59, they try 58, they try 60. But actually 58s have proven to be one of the most popular ones we've ever done. I think because people get it in their head that that's the spec, that I should have a 59 or I should have a 60 because of X, Y and Z. But when most people actually pick up and play them, the 58 neck carve is the carve that fits the hand the best. So we've kind of gone with that, and you never know, watch this space, there might be some more on the way. So we decided to go for 58 because I think the thing about 58s is originally they had quite plain tops. But what people love are the 58 spec, but with a really, really nice flame top. So I actually went out and picked out of about 2,000 sheets of maple.
2,000?
2,000 sheets. It's basically like a 1 metric ton huge pallet of maple tops. Wow. And picked out what I thought were probably the 10 best flame tops. And then the 10 colours to match it, because a lot of times you'll look at a billet of flame maple and it will have this amazing top on it, but actually you've got to also look at the side, because it depends how deep the maple runs, how it will actually carve, because a Les Paul top isn't completely flat. So when you carve it, you've actually got to make sure that when it carves, you get the stripe all the way through.
It does have the...
So the thing about that one there is that particular one, although it's quite a tight flame, obviously when it's carved, it's come all the way through, all the way to the edges as well. So you might pick up something that's really nice and flamed, but if the flame's not actually running deep throughout the whole sort of billet of maple, it won't come through.
Amazing.
So really incredible flame tops that you just wouldn't normally see on a 58.
Very beautiful.
Even including this one here, if you can see it.
We'll do some close-ups on all these guitars, of course, so you can see them properly.
And picked colours that kind of nicely match all the edges and nicely match guitars that I've seen that, obviously, as you pointed out, this one's kind of like the Beast, and kind of matching the colours and the tops to fit that. And
they all got this mahogany.
So the great thing about all of these as well is that specifically asked them to select lightweight mahogany.
It's very light,
because
you can't feel that, but they're very, very light.
I think people always associate a Les Paul with being a heavy guitar. But actually, it's only really in the kind of the dark ages of Gibson guitar building that I think they noticed that maybe guitars were getting a little heavier. But actually, a lot of the original ones, and I was lucky enough to play a few original ones while I was out there, are actually a fairly standard weight. So they actually sorted through all mahogany, so all of the guitars are coming out at a really nice kind of lightweight without being chambered.
I remember having, I had a 76 buckle burst Les
Yeah.
Paul, and that weighed a ton.
Yeah, I think at that
and I
point-
sold it, and that was very annoying. But then
Yeah.
it was a great start, but it was very, very heavy.
But that's the great thing about owning one of these.
Yeah.
It's realistically, this is one of the closest things you'll get
to
an original.
Yeah. They do look great.
A minor fraction of the cost that an original one's going to set you back. And they've gone back to using the proper aniline dye on the back and the hot hide glue on the neck join, so you get they're even going back to the old techniques. It's not like a modern company where they're kind of using all the modern techniques and machinery. These guitars are still primarily so much more hands-on than any other. The factory tour was a real eye-opener because I just had no idea, one, how limited these guitars are made. 50 a day is not a lot of guitars.
No.
At the end of the day, when we saw them all lined up, and you think, well, that's 50 guitars going to 10,000 guitar shops around the world.
That's not very many.
That's not a lot, and there's only 5 or 6 people, at the final stages.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of guys there who've been doing the same job and the same thing for these guitars since the 70s.
Yeah, and there's not many of those.
No, every part of it is a highly skilled job, to the sanding and the dyeing, to the scraping of the binding, to everything that's done in house is just absolutely amazing. And all the tops, there's one guy who works in the factory, he's one of the heads of the custom shop, and he hand selects every single piece of maple that comes in. So he goes out, orders all the trees, and then when they come in, every single pallet is opened by him, checked through and graded by him. So every single top has been cast over by one single person. He knows exactly what they're looking for in every single guitar. So you just know that everything you're going to pick out is going to be top notch.
Top notch. How about pickups and wiring inside and all this different stuff? What have we got?
Obviously the fun part was picking out the tops and the colours, but there's no fun in just picking out some 58 Les Pauls in different colours. Me and Lee thought we've got to do something that separates these guitars from any other guitar that you're going to buy anywhere else.
Yeah.
So I tried about 5 or 6 different guitars, and including a couple of original 58 bursts and 59, and kind of decided to pick pickups that are going to, I think the best sounding Les Paul pickups are the lower powered ones. Loads of people go, we'll stick a nice high powered set in there, but you don't get the warmth and dynamics of the guitar, and sometimes with the amp as well.
Yeah.
So these are selected from Collector's Choice number 12, and they are called the Burst Bucket S pickups.
Okay.
So they're quite a low powered, underwound path. So they're really rich and woolly, but you get a nice bright treble pickup.
Yeah.
They work fantastic with the amp. And we thought, well, that's great. They're really nice and versatile. They're just so rich sounding for the guitar. But we wanted to do one more thing. And what we decided to do was fit a little switch in the volume control.
Yeah.
Now, the switch in the volume control activates what is probably considered to be one of the best Les Paul sounds, which is the out of phase sound. So a certain Les Paul player at one point had a...
You can say the name.
Yeah, well, so, Peter Green, Gary Moore, obviously, and now Kirk Hammett, I suppose, are renowned for having that Les Paul that's got the inverted pickups in it.
Yeah.
And, they didn't know, and he didn't know until he was kind of playing it, and they said, someone's wired those, out of phase.
Yeah.
So we thought, well, that's a great sound to have, but we should make it an optional sound, because, someone's not going to want that all the time.
Yeah.
So when you're in the middle position here, by putting up the volume control...
So we hear that?
Yeah.
Let me quickly try. So this is in the middle pick position. Let me turn the amp back on. It's just making a bit of noise before, so I turned it off. We're going in the Marshall JCM800. Sounds
awesome. And it's just such another usable sound that's easy to get to, because you know there's all the Les Paul standards and everything with all the fancy switching, but people who want, you know,
that
a 58 aren't going to want
awesome sound.
Yeah, I mean, so we thought we'll put that in there. It works really well with the pickups in there, and you know, it's one of these guitars that you want to mess around with the volume and the tone controls. Yeah. You know, so often you get a guitar off the wall and you turn everything up and you go, it sounds great, but as soon as you start messing around, you're like, well, I'm not so sure. Yeah. But this one, you know, if you dial back the tone for the woman tone, and you know, you mix it in with the out of phase, you've just got such a huge range of sounds in there.
Yeah, I've seen a video with a certain Joe. Where he's just plugged straight into a Fender amp or whatever, I think something like that. Yeah. Again, like a tweed kind of amp, and where he's just messing around with it, so a bit like. Kind of,
so it works so well with the amp.
That's just a little bit, you know. And
yeah, I think that's the thing, and that's what we'll show off in the playing video later. But it's the fact that this guitar with these pickups creates such a dynamic instrument. Yeah. You know, and that's the great thing about Les Pauls, is they are an incredibly dynamic guitar. Yeah. And the nice thing about these is that they are completely unique to us. You won't see these anywhere else.
No, they're built for Andertons.
They're built specifically for Andertons with our spec. And all the tops are hand picked. So to be honest, these are, in my opinion, they are one-offs.
Yeah, they will all be individual one-off guitars. So if you do buy one of these, that's it. And this is a guitar for life, isn't it? Yeah. As I would.
You also get a little customised Andertons certificate with it as well, which is quite nice. Cool. And it's to me, if you're after a 58 but you want something a little bit different, this is the one, because everything's done in the factory. There's no mods you have to do yourself. These pickups you won't get anymore because they're not making the collector's choice that these were in, and the colours and the top combinations are just something that you just won't ever see again. Yeah. You know, and some of these colours that we've picked aren't standard 58 production colours. These are colours. That one is
that's talking to me right now.
Exactly. These are colours that are only on specific guitars that they no longer make, but they still have the colour, the paint colours. So to be honest, you can't get these. That's the nice thing.
Unless you come to Andertons and buy one from here.
Yeah. So there we have it. Really, that's the kind of.
But come down and talk to Matt, because he'll be in the shop and he will explain. You know, if you've got any questions. Yeah. For you.
Yeah, it's something that's worth pointing out, that obviously we've done this run and we've got some more to come. Yeah. And also that if it's something that you think you're inspired by, you know, playing a guitar that you want to spec out, we can do that for you. Here at Andertons, we offer the complete made-to-measure range. So anything that you kind of want to spec out, if you want a 58 but you only want one pickup, or you know you want a Les Paul custom with a flame top, that's something we can do. So just give us a shout and we'll sort it out.
All right, guys. Well, that was the Blues
Master Les Paul exclusive to Andertons.
See you later.